Hello. Hold on. The tech is being a little weird today, so we're just gonna have to deal with it and see what happens. None of this is actually doing what I want it to. Okay, so I will just say that I obviously haven't been live in a while. Hello, Shelly. And several reasons for that. If you guys were here last time, or really have watched pretty much any of the more recent videos on my channel, you know that my computer was not playing nice, and I didn't want to put you guys through that. And the obnoxious clicking noise that it was making, it still makes that noise. I still use it. I still have it. I use it as my reference computer in here now when I'm just doing stuff. And I use it for my craft inventory softwares. I use it for my color companion stuff, all that kind of stuff, just Google, Pinterest, all of that. When I'm in my craft room, and it's kind of my dedicated craft room computer, but I can't stream from it anymore because it's very annoying. And when I use it in here, I turn it on and I turn it off as soon as I humanly possibly can, because that noise was so annoying, and I just didn't want to put y'all through that. So I got a new laptop, which is why I said the tech is being a little funky today, because I had to I had to reset up everything on the new computer. So I tested it a little bit and played with it, and I think everything is gonna be okay. But we'll see if it actually ends up that way. I also kind of move things around in my craft room a whole bunch, and I so I have a totally different setup. I got all kinds of new things going on in here. There is more improvements and changes in the future, but for right now, I'm just really excited to be able to come back and do lives again. The face cam almost didn't work. I had it. It was working. Everything was great. At 5:57, all of a sudden my computer was like, ding, it does when something disconnects, and the face cam stopped working. So I'm just glad the face cam's here and it's working. I don't know if it'll stay working, but that's okay, because we're going to switch to the overhead and get started. And it's not going to matter, because if it goes out at the end, it goes out at the end. So, all right, let me switch cameras here. All right, there we go. Okay, so I have been wanting to do this particular live for what feels like ever. And it's finally happening. Doing these was one of the reasons I wanted to start doing lives, because I thought they'd be fun to do live. But I also realized that they still take a lot of time. That part doesn't go away. So, so yeah. I think it's going to be a 2-part live. We're going to do the first part today. We're going to do the second part in August. And I think that's going to work. And we're going to see how it goes. Although we'll see how far we get today. Although I'm also remembering there's something I didn't pull out, so I'm going to have to do that. But what we are doing today is this. We're doing a Kendra's card challenge. If you've been around my channel a while, you've seen me do these before. I'm going to grab my thing before I forget. And apparently I'm going to forget where they are as well in the process. And they are very not organized, so this will be fun. Oh right, maybe they're more organized than I thought. Okay. But, because I had a different plan and the other plan fell through. So that's where we're at. But anyway, we are doing Kendra's card challenge. I have not done these on the channel for a while, because the videos take forever to edit. They just do. And they take forever to film, they take forever to edit. And I was like, this is the perfect thing to do live, because there's no editing involved. I just sit here and I talk to y'all, but they do still take a long time. So I thought we'd do it in 2 parts, which I already said, but explained a little bit more. So yeah, so today my plan is to just do this part, to just do the cutting part, talk about the challenge, talk about what we're doing, and cut all of our paper and organize everything. And then in August, we will come back and we will make all of our cards. Unless we have time. If we have time today, I might make one or two of them. I do have a few things pulled out to start doing that, depending on how we're feeling, how the vibes are, how long we've been here, because I'm still trying to like only stay for about an hour, maybe a little bit longer. Like I said, we're just gonna kind of play it by ear. But this is by far one of my most favorite card making challenges ever. If you've been following me since my blog days, when I pretty much existed solely on card making challenges, I have always loved a sketch challenge. This is a sketch challenge to the max, if you're not familiar with these. They are so much fun, and they are a great stash builder. So I don't get to do these as much as I would like to, because they take so much time. So I've said that a lot of time, and I'm not gonna lie to you and say that they're quick and easy. But they run for 3 months. There are prizes involved. I stopped entering for prizes a while ago. But you can win lots of gift cards and things like that, if you choose to enter them officially. I like to just do them for fun these days, mostly because I don't have to worry about the timing then. But you can enter, so they run for 3 months. They're once a quarter, so every 3 months a new one comes out. So this is number 23. And you can enter each month, so you can do a set every month if you want to, and then enter to win prizes every month, which is very cool. And then there's also prizes like at the end of the quarter. So that is very fun. And you can find these on Patreon. Kendra has a Patreon page. That's where these come from. They are free though. There's different things you can buy, and I'm going to talk about some of the things you can buy separately later, because I did buy something for the first time this go around, because it's new. Actually, I didn't even realize it was there. I haven't, like I said, it's been a while since I've done one of these, but I needed a stash builder. I am entirely out of Thanksgiving cards, and Thanksgiving is coming up quickly, and I was debating. I almost did this Christmas. I did a Christmas one of these a few years ago. If you need Christmas cards, awesome. And if you need a lot of them, because you get 15 cards out of this. But I still have a decent Christmas card stash, and I have some other Christmas ideas this year that I wanted to do. So I ended up deciding to do this for Thanksgiving and I'll probably end up with more Thanksgiving cards than I need, because honestly I meant to count how many I needed and I forgot to count how many I needed. But 15 should be close to enough, if not enough. And it'll at least be enough to get me started. So yeah, so you can download this from Patreon. I honestly don't even have it bookmarked. I just Google Kendra's card challenge and it usually pops right up. And I am able to do that. There are, like I said, you don't have to subscribe. You don't have to pay for this specifically. I printed the free version of it. If I did these more often though, I would definitely consider like subscribing to the Patreon, but also with having the options to purchase things separately, that without paying every month is also very nice. I like that. So, it's whatever works for you. If you're going to do these all the time, consider the Patreon. If you just want to play every once in a while, just use the free version. And then if there's things you want to upgrade, go ahead and check out some of the paid options. Like, you have the option to buy an SVG file for this now, for how these are all cut up. And I was very tempted, but this one's not too bad. I peeked at like how things are cut up, and and this one's not awful. So sometimes there's a lot of weird cuts and things that are a little, I don't want to say intimidating, because that's wrong, but that are a little bit just like a lot, I guess. And this one's not bad though. I did kind of scope this out before because I was a little nervous that they would be really complicated, but it's not this time. So we're all good there. I think there might be some more complicated things in the next part, but still, either way. So you have the concept of this challenge, which I really should have gotten to already, but I am apparently in rambly mode today. Is you're going to use 6 sheets of pattern paper to get 15 cards. 6x6 pattern paper specifically. I do think I read somewhere that there may be a 12x12 version that she puts out occasionally, or is maybe available for purchase on the Patreon, but I'm not sure on that. Because I may have just briefly seen it. And I also apologize for how weird these look. She does have a printer friendly version of these that is available for purchase. I did not get the printer friendly version. I just printed the free version. So yeah. My printer is also running out of ink, and I didn't realize that. So some of these are a little funky looking, because I didn't know that I didn't have ink for my printer. So, and I don't use it very often, so but it's okay. But so here you can see here that they have the SVG cutting available for purchase if you feel so inclined. And then you just get all of these different maps to follow, and we'll go through this. I'm kind of skimming this part because we're going to talk about this more in detail when we actually do it. But then you have sort of the instruction page back here, that gives you everything that you need to do. So you're going to cut out the pattern papers, and then you're going to organize them. I cannot specify how important the organizing part of this challenge is. It is very helpful to make sure that everything is very organized and you're not missing pieces, because more than once I've gone to do this over several days, like especially when I do the recorded video. Sometimes it takes me about a week. I mean, granted, I'm doing it in between other life things as well to get everything done, and I have lost so many pieces. And I have to keep track of them for a month this time, so hopefully no pieces wander off. That is what I am hoping for. Especially because I don't have a ton of pattern paper left that I'm using, so hopefully they don't wander off. And then you're just going to decorate and make your cards together, or, put your cards together. There is a Facebook group if you want to join the Facebook group, and see maybe not everyone's, projects, but get some ideas and some inspiration. You can do that as well. And then how to enter the challenge if you're going to enter for prizes, and more information about the Patreon, all that kind of stuff. And then you get all 15 sketches, right? And again, you can see how awkwardly they printed for me, but that's okay. And typical sketch challenge rules on these: you can rotate them, you can flip them. Like this one has a heart on it. Don't have to use a heart. You can use whatever you want. Like this one is, you kind of have to use circles because that's what's on the cutting pattern. But for the how to cut the pattern paper, but like this black and white stuff can be whatever shape you want, really. Like this could be a different shape. This flower doesn't have to be a flower, things like that. And again, we'll talk more in detail about this next time, when we actually put our cards together. But the important part is the colors on here correspond to the colors that are these pattern papers on here, so you can kind of get an idea of what you're doing. And then if we flip to the last page, you can see what all the prizes are, or who all the prize sponsors are, and are giving away things. And then over here's more information on the Patreon if that's something you're interested in. And then the planning. I call this a planning grid because it's technically a quick reference guide, but in my brain it's kind of a planning grid. So this tells you, like sketch number 1 only uses pattern paper A. Sketch number 2 only uses A. 3 uses all 6 patterns. So like this is one, because you have this right here where it uses all 6 papers. This is one where you're almost have to. Well, maybe you don't have to. If you're really good at matching colors and patterns, you don't have to. But where you're gonna want to use like a pattern paper pack where you know everything just matches. I always try to use them from a pattern paper pack because it's just easier. I know whatever I pick is gonna match very well. But I have also definitely like just put together my own theme and put together my own papers. But I kept it easy this time. We are going to use pattern paper pack. So that's what we're doing. That's where we're going. That's what we're working on today. And then I'm going to talk about that later, I think. But let's just get into it, right? So I am using, and I apologize for using things that are retired, because I know that's a little not nice of me, but I'm using this very old Gina K Designs pattern paper pack called Give Thanks because, like I said earlier, we're doing a Thanksgiving theme. So I can get Thanksgiving cards done. I don't know, I don't think people really send out very many Thanksgiving cards, but I like to. I also send out Halloween cards to the small humans in my life. The kiddos, my nieces and nephews and all that kind of jazz. I don't have siblings, so all of my friends' kids and all of my cousins' kids are my nieces and nephews in my brain. So the teenagers, once they become teenagers, I usually stop sending them because they usually don't care, but by that point they're kind of over it. But the little kids always get a kick out of it. So I always do my best to try to send Halloween cards to all of them. And so I'm working on that, and then this is going to be how I'm going to get my Thanksgiving cards done. Because I can't do all of them all at once. So, let's get to cutting, shall we? So, I like to do my cutting for these challenges on this Fiskars trimmer because, compared to my Caterpillar, because I like that it has this side, because some of these cuts are very small. And it's just easier for me to measure if I have both options to go either direction. So I am going to, because I just don't have the space on camera to keep this out here, I'm going to have it just off to the side here, but I will bring it up and tell you which one we're working on. I was at one point supposed to like screenshot these and make different little overlays that I could put on the screen for y'all. I did not get around to that. So that is not happening. But it's all good. It's all good. We're just gonna keep this off to the side, and I will just kind of have to talk you through it a little bit. But the thing to know is we're gonna start with pattern A. I don't have these in like any particular order this time. Really, these pattern papers, they're just here. So we're just going like A, B, C. Oh, this one's upside down. Let me fix that. D, E, F. Like, you know what? I might do this, though, so that these ones are a little bit more separated. If one's really not speaking to me when I look at the sort of cutting diagram for it, I will change my mind. The other thing to remember and to know about these, is that these arrows that are on here seem kind of random. There's all these little arrows, but they are not random. They are there for a reason. This tells you what direction your pattern is going to be facing on your card sketch. For these, I recommend using a non-directional pattern as much as you can. Because it's just less thinking. Not that you can't, but sometimes it's just a little bit harder to get your patterns sort of all right. So I went with mostly non-directional patterns this time. The only one that's kind of directional is these two pumpkin ones. But I also feel like if the pumpkins go sideways or like, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Where there's sometimes where there's certain patterns where it's just like, yeah, that looks really funky, but the pumpkins are so random and like anyway, and even though they are all facing one direction, I feel like you won't really lose anything if this starts rotating to different directions. So to make it easier on yourself, I say try to choose non-directional patterns as much as you can. But it is not the end of the world if you choose not to. Or go with something directional. You just might have to think about it a little bit more. So, like, I actually just looked at this one, and I have my, or no, I might move some around, because if you're looking at this bee right here, right now, most of these all go in the same direction, except for this one and this one, they just go sideways. So I might actually move one of the pumpkins to this one, because it doesn't have a whole ton of directional weirdness on it, but really most of these ones don't. They all definitely have stuff that goes in different directions, but none of them are too, like, there's some where you, like, every piece goes in a different direction. These ones are not that bad. So, actually, looking at this now and, like, talking through it, and this is, like, I've skimmed it, but I haven't, like, looked at it. So, taking my first really good look at it, if you're new to this and you want to give it a try, this might be a good one to try. Because everything is pretty friendly. And the other thing to know, because I can't remember if I said it, because I started to say it and I think I got distracted, your first cut is always going to be where these little scissors are. So this is the first thing I'm going to cut, and then from there I can go where I want to go. So there's that. I'm just going to set that off to the side for now. And then the other thing to make sure you have, and I've been trying to, like, perfect a system for this, and I haven't really managed to do that yet. Although I think I've got some combined baggies going on here. I think I got some of my crop and create ones mixed in here. I have all these little baggies that have numbers on them that I've done. I'm sure I'm missing some, because I almost always am missing some. Oh, nope, I'm not missing some. I just have extras. That never happens. I always never have all of them. So I have all of these here, little baggies. I just keep them in order while I do this part to the best of my ability, because I usually do end up tossing them all over the place at some point in the process and getting myself confused. But they all just are numbered 1 through 15, and then that's how I've been organizing all of the paper pieces. I really want to get, like, a little book or a little binder or something, or I was looking for, like, one of those, like, accordion folder things to potentially, that had 15, like, pockets in it, and I can only find ones that have 12. So, I am looking at potentially upgrading my setup here for my Kendra's card challenges, but I also just don't do them that often, so they're not something you do often. Ziploc baggies, if you have any of these little, like, card sleeves around, I use these for the, like, crop and create events too, to organize stuff, so anything like that you have will work. Okay, let's get to cutting. So, I have my first one here, and then it just tells me to cut a 1/2 inch. And this is why I said I like doing this one, or this paper cutter, because cutting a 1/2 inch is small, and then I, like, on other cutters you end up with, like, all this extra over here, and I don't like that. But on here, I can just line it up right there to the 1/2 inch on this side, and then boom, there's my first cut. Oh gosh, why am I so nervous? So silly. Alright, so now we have to, I'm going to finish off this strip, because I have some more cuts to make on this strip. So I have to cut one at 4 inches, like so. And then that one's going to go into bag number 1. And then these ones get cut in half to be 1 inch, like so. And, oh, my face cam just turned off again. I just heard it. So I probably won't have face cam at the end, but that's okay. And then this one is, both of these go for number 11. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. So I know a lot of things are happening off camera, but I don't have the space to fit everything on camera. A lot of times if I was doing this off camera, I would kind of have everything spread out a little bit more. But I don't have the space to do that. Right this second. Okay. Now, moving on. We are going to cut along the bottom, along this side, another 1/2 inch strip. I think. I'm gonna double check this before I do it. Oh, can't see. Hold on, we're going down here. Okay, there we go. So yes, along this side, we're gonna cut another 1/2 inch strip. So this is the part, like, they tell you where to do the first cut, and then after that, you kind of have to use your brain, to figure out where to go. Like, what's the next best option? Which in this case was this one, and this one goes in bag number 10. Okay. Now, I think we're going to go back to the other direction. And we're going to do another 1/2 inch strip. There's a lot of 1/2 inch strips on this one, guys. But I also feel the need to, like, double check here. But I don't really like doing that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. Wait, that doesn't make sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That still doesn't. No, because I didn't do the math. That's why. Hold on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now it makes sense. I forgot that I was counting halves and not. I think we're back to having a square. Okay. Which is kind of what I wanted, because now I can just do whatever if I'm back at a square. Okay. Now we're going to cut off another 1/2 inch heel. Actually, nope, I want to do it this way. And I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 1/2 inches that I have to cut off, so I'm just going to cut all those right now. 2. Hello. I see people are here. 2, 3. 4. And now I'm nervous again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I need 5. Ooh! Except I should not cut anymore. I shouldn't have even cut the 4 that I did. Alright, we're going to see how this goes, because I should have done something else first. Alright, we're going to see what happens, because I think I have an extra one of these if it doesn't work out. If not, we will just sub in another piece of paper. Oh, look, I have a lot extra of this. Okay, so we can make up if I made it oopsie, because I think I might have. Okay. So we are going to 2 3/4, which should theoretically cut right in half. I also love when I do these. I don't love to do it, but it happens all the time. These are both going in number 1. To accidentally do these incorrectly and cut them wrong. And then they get to the point where I put them on the cards. Ouch. And I mess up. So, I cut one more of these, I think, than I should have. I should have stopped at 3, and I cut 4. So that's where I'm on. We're gonna see if I can save it. And if not, that's okay. I'll just cut a random piece off of another one. So, but I have absolutely 100% before either cut stuff wrong or gotten to actually not even notice that I cut it wrong until I actually, like, got to the point of making the cards and then been like, why is this sketch not working? And then realized that it was because I made it oopsie. Oh yeah, no, that's right. So I just will cut a different piece. I have a lot of scrap pattern papers in my life. And I will just cut one out of there that matches, or if I have extras, I will, of the pattern paper I used, I will cut, I will use that. You just make it work. It is not the end of the world when that happens. A little annoying, maybe, not gonna lie. It annoys me. But it is not the end of the world, because it is just paper, and we can deal with that. Okay. There we go. You can also, I should say, like, I mean, we're trying to mass produce cards here. And you know what? Because I'm talking, I'm realizing I'm having trouble keeping track of where I am, because I'm not usually talking when I do this. So I'm going to put little X's in each one that I've done, so I know where I'm at. Because I can tell that I apparently can't talk and do this at the same time. So, okay. Now we're on this one, which is the same one as we just did the last one. So, that's nice and easy. I have thought about getting rid of this paper trimmer so many times. Because I have a million paper trimmers. I feel like a lot of people can say that. But I just can't get rid of this one because of this. Because this is the one I use when I have to cut small. I have to cut small pieces. These are the best for that. Having this extra side here is the most helpful thing for cutting these small pieces. I have 2 guillotine trimmers, and I have a my like rotary trimmer, my Caterpillar trimmer, and then I have this one. So many paper cutters. I always said, like, when I first started getting into card making, that I feel like this is one of those things that we all do, and say, and then we're like, oh, oops. It happens to us all. See, this is where I messed up a little bit. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix my oops. Okay, Shelly said too that you have this trimmer, which is also, or this trimmer. Yeah, this is a trimmer. There's a wire in here that you probably can't, no, yeah, you probably can't see it on camera because of how my lighting is. But there is a wire in here that is very helpful for if you're trying to see exactly where you're trying to cut. My Caterpillar does something similar. There's a light on it that does the same thing. But the thing is, for the light to work, you have to make sure the batteries are working. And I tend to forget to change the battery, so this one's nice because it doesn't need batteries. And I also tend to forget to turn my Caterpillar off, so then the batteries die even quicker. So there are definitely some advantages to the wire version. The other fun thing about the wire version, I have to be careful because there's addresses on these ones, and I know I have family watching tonight in North Carolina, and this is coming your way tomorrow, since it was supposed to go in the mail today, but I forgot it. But mail has a USPS specifically has a 1/4 inch like size limit on like what you can send for one postage stamp, essentially. And that is the distance between this wire and this metal part. So if you're ever not sure if a card is like too thick to only get one stamp, you can just like slide this through, and then if it fits through, you know you're good. I don't like this one. I have 2 on because it's a mini slim, but like you can just slide it. This one, see, like this one's a little tighter, like, so I would have put 2 on this one just to be safe anyway, but I already did because it's a mini slim, so I already put 2 on it just to be safe. It's not perfect. It is not 100% foolproof, but you can actually buy like specific like letter sizer like thingies. I've seen them on Etsy. if you want to. I've looked at them. I've contemplated getting them. I have not yet. But it is an option if you feel like you want to do that. And this is it's good enough to get by and test if you're really in a jam if you need to. So it's like it does do more than one thing, which is very nice. We like when things can do more than one thing. But I have when I first started paper crafting and getting into card making and all that kind of stuff, I always said that I was not going to get into or be that person that has a million of things. This one is still off for some reason. Probably because I did it wrong. And that's probably why it's not working. So we're just gonna do this. Like so. And we're gonna deal with our mistake later. We're gonna cut a special piece. And I always said I was going to be the person who didn't have like multiples of things. Like I was going to have one paper trimmer. I was going to have one die cut machine. Now there are different categories of like die cut machines. Like I have my scan and cut, my electronic die cut machine, and then I had like my manual one, and I was like, that's it. That's all I need. I'm not going to have any more than that. And now I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4 big die cut machines. I have one mini die cut machine. I had 2 mini die cut machines, but I did give away one of my mini ones. And then I have, like, what did I just say? I just counted paper trimmers. 1, 2, 3. I have 4 paper trimmers. Although one of them is a decollage trimmer, so I don't know if that counts. But yeah, I ended up becoming that person anyway who has lots of multiples of things that I probably don't need multiples of. But I have them anyway. So I feel like that happens to everybody. You get too into things and then everything is just slightly different and has slightly different features. That means you need all of those things. Like I have one of my die cut machines is a Gemini, and I always argue that does not count because it's an electric die cut machine, so it does not get lumped with the 2 cuddle bugs in my intricate. And the 2 cuddle bugs are discontinued, so like I can't replace them if I use them, so now they just have to sit on a shelf and look pretty. Because I can't replace the plates if they break, or when they break, because they will break, because that's just what they do. That's just what cutting machine plates do. They break. So yeah, that's where we're at with that, and I honestly think it's really funny. How that happens. I remember watching when I first got into like card making YouTube, and when I first got into card making big. I've been card making for a long time. My mom took me to a Stampin' Up! Party when I was around 12, and that's when I kind of very loosely got into it, but obviously I did not have my own money to spend on it when I was 12. So I was very much sharing whatever my mom was willing to buy, and I could only ever be as into it as she was, right? Then I got older and like I would ask for stuff. I would ask for gifts for it. And all of that kind of stuff. And I sort of slowly built up things and all of that. And then I got older and then I had adult money to spend on card making supplies, and that's when things started to get crazy. All right. So this is the part where I kind of made an oops. So we got to figure out how to fix my oops. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the Oh, wait. Well, let's do this first. I may end up just redoing all of these pieces, or doing 2 of these pieces separate, because my math is not mathing right now. And I will admit, okay, I am not always the best at the measuring type situations. See, this feels just a little short. Hold on, let me, because it should be. And if it is, I think I'm just going to grab the other piece and I'm just going to cut. It is a little short. Okay. One of my other pieces must be a little big too. But since I have so much of this, and honestly, I'm on a mission to use up my pattern paper because I have so much that I am going to simply just cut a couple of these to be correct. Alright, so we're going to do that, and then we're going to do... I am actually going to kind of cheat because I don't... 1.5 is the most awkward measurement to measure on the other side, so it is the one time that I will break my, I don't like stuff hanging off the edge, because it's just weird on the other side. I mean, like, you can do it, but I don't like it, so we're gonna do it this way. And then eventually we'll find out which other one I did that I messed up, because I don't actually know which one I messed up. So, but there's definitely at least one more that's not right. So, and now we're going to cut this down to 4, and then we're just going to cut a 1 inch off of here. So, there we go. And we'll keep that little piece just in case I figure out what else I made an oopsie on. This is, oh, see, look, now why is this weird? What did I do? Did I do this twice? I think I did. I think I just wasn't paying attention. No? What? Okay. Come here. I think you will work still to do this part. You will. Okay. I don't know what I was doing there. This is what happens every single time I do these. All of a sudden I'm like, why is the math not mathing? But sometimes it just doesn't math. And I don't think it's them. In fact, I know it's them because I have done these twice before. When I've needed like a big stash builder and gotten it right the second time. And I think it's just sometimes I forget how to measure things. I have come very, very far in my ability to measure when I do these things. But sometimes things are still just a little weird. Okay, and there we go. That is paper number 1 done. And we're going to try to do better on paper number 2. Okay. Although I did say I was going to switch these, didn't I? So I'm going to switch them. Because this one mostly goes in the same direction. Okay, where is... Oh, I gotta get dyes out. I forgot to get those out. Okay, we're going to do some dye cutting too, and I gotta get my dyes out. So I will do that in a minute. So same thing here. We're going to start with a 1/2 inch strip. And then... Oh, we gotta cross off the rest of these though, because they done now. Okay. We're gonna start with this 1/2 inch strip, just like we did on the other one. See, I think I measured, like I'm looking at this now, and I'm measuring this, and I'm like, yeah, I think I did measure it wrong a couple times, but we will see what happens. That one, and then, what is that one? 1.5. Which again is the awkward one, so we're gonna go this way. Lerp. There we go. Although my brain is saying I cut that backwards now, but it'll be okay. 3 and 15. Sometimes I always get nervous when I do these too, because I always just cut the papers in order, right? And I'll get kind of nervous that I'm like missing ones, because I'll get like halfway through and like there'll be ones that don't have any paper, and then I'll be like, what did I miss? But then, you know, it always works out in the end, so somehow it always works out. Alright, 50. Get in there. Alright, there we go. Good enough. Alright, what's next? So, let's talk through this time, shall we? So that we hopefully don't make any goobers again. So here's kind of what I'm looking at. And this is where I messed up last time because I wasn't paying attention and I didn't see this spot here. Which, like, obviously, I was like, oh, I'm just going to cut all these half-inch strips, but they weren't all the same. So, I think here again is the next move. And then this was where it gets kind of tricky because I kind of want to cut off this part here, which I could. I could do this 3-inch part here, and then I'll just end up cutting off that little bit. So I think here and then here is our next move. I might switch. I don't think I like this pencil. I don't think I can see it very good, and I don't think I like it. Let's see if this glitter pen is better. Yes, it is. Okay. I can see it better. Okay. So now we're going to go across the bottom here. And 3/4. All right. 1, 2, 3. I do like on this that the measurements are very easy to see. Like, I can just count lines, which is a lot, very, very handy. 4, 10, 10. Here we go. Alright, and then we cross it off. And now that I actually, like, thought ahead and planned this time, I know that we're going to do 3 inches off the side. Like so. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to check this, though, just to make sure, because I am probably overthinking it, as I usually do, but alright, I'm not, though. We're good. And then this one goes in number 6. This is a big piece, actually. Okay, now let us figure this part out. This part needs the full of everything that's left, so I'm probably gonna cut this 1 1/4 piece off the top, off the bottom. Which that I can measure this way. And that one goes to number 9. But see, like, I guess it's a little bit weird that the pumpkins are sideways, but I think it's okay. Or gonna end up sideways, I should say, but there are other patterns that would be worse with, so. Okay, and now we cross off this one. And now we have this one is a little bit weird because this doesn't usually happen. But there's this little tiny, like, extra strip here. So it's like an 1/8 inch that we don't need. So I'm gonna cut that off now. So that it's out of the way. And then I can cut what's left. Which is gonna be this first. So I'm gonna have to do some math. Which actually isn't so bad because it's really 1, 2, and 3/8. Or I just cut 1 inch. Never mind. It's not that bad at all. I just cut 1 inch off the end. There we go. There's that. And now this one is 3. So we're going to cut here. Like so. And then this one goes in number 5. And then, where'd my little piece go? There it is. I'm just going to set this one off to the side for now. A lot of times I will not die cut these ahead of time, but this one gets cut into a half circle, which means, and each one goes in, I should show you, why am I just pointing to it off camera? This one gets cut into a half circle, and each one gets in a different sketch. So, I have to kind of account for that, so we're going to end up having to die cut that one as we go this time, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, I don't know why I said that, but we're just gonna have to do it as we go. I think I was just thinking that because I don't have my dies out, which means I have to go get them. And then this one just gets cut in half at 2 inches, like so. And these both go in number 7. Or, I wonder if, I'm trying to save us some time, because we are almost at an hour already. And we still have not even halfway through. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to die cut these ones off camera, potentially, because we still have a long way to go. Although, I did think about making this 3 parts, and I might do that still. But this wasn't what I was planning on making 3 parts. So, alright, I said number C. It's letter C. So I just wrote, so what I did on here, so that I can go back and do this later, is I just wrote B on the back, so that I know which one it is. Now, this one is not a double-sided pattern paper, so I can do that. In other circumstances, I probably would have actually gone and done that, or, actually die cut it, but since I don't have my dies out, and there's actually quite a few that I have to die cut all very similarly, I think I'm just going to write the letters on the back, and we're just going to do that, just to speed things up a little bit, because I think I talked too much at the beginning. Alright, let's do same thing on this one. We're going to cut off a 1/2 inch on this one. And same thing. These all start very similarly today. 1 1/2. Okay. And then this goes in 3 and 15. 3 and 15. You can also kind of start to see, like, patterns emerge, because I haven't really looked at any of the sketches yet. I've sort of skimmed them, but I haven't really, like, looked at them and studied them, if you will. So, I am going to, like, I start to see sort of like, oh, look, these are all very, like, strip-themed, kind of cards, and I start to figure things out. Okay. Now it's planning time again. Where did my pen go? Here it is. Will the green show up on the green is the question. It will. Okay. Where to go from here? This all looks very messy on this side. So I'm going to say I'm going to take this 2 inch over here and do that. And we're gonna take this off like so. And now, I just saw another thing on here. This is inside, here. So that means that that's going on the inside of the card. This is another one that would get die cut, technically, with this little banner bit here. So I'll probably put this one aside as well for now, but also may or may not use this one. Because sometimes I don't like to put them on the inside, because I just, especially when it's just like one little thing like that. But I will keep it and I will hold on to it and set it aside so that I have it. And it gets a 1/2 inch off the bottom. That is not a 1/2 inch though, that was a 1/4. No, 1, 2, there we go. So now I'm just gonna write C. And I'm gonna write C, and I'm gonna write 7 on this one, because this one's got a couple pieces that are gonna have to get set to the side to get die cut. And I want to remember which pieces are which. So here's my plan, because this is taking me, I don't want to say longer than I expected, but longer than I hoped. We're going to cut the pattern papers. I'm going to tell you, and then I'm going to do some stuff off camera over the next couple weeks to get ready for next time. It is taking about as long as I expected. I thought this would go over an hour for sure, but I was hoping I was going to be quicker than that. So since I have not been quicker than that, I'm going to kind of show you, we're going to finish this. We're going to cut all 6 of these together. And then there's more I have to cut after this that I got new to try this time. So that part I may just sort of walk through with you what I'm going to do off camera. And then when we come back next time, we can put everything together. Unless you all really want to see me cut more paper, in which case we could do a part 2, or we can just see how we're feeling after we finish this if we want to keep going. But I have a feeling we're all going to maybe be a little done by then. But we'll see. I will check in again in a little bit once we get closer to that. Okay, so my next move here is this section, I think, down here. So I'm going to cut 1.5 off the bottom here, which I'm really going to cut off the top because of the direction I like to cut things in. And then I'm going to cut this 1/2 inch strip to go for number 15. That was definitely not a 1/2 inch though. That was definitely, oh wait, maybe it was. Well, it was. I just think I shifted it and spooked myself a little bit. And then we've got 1 inch. And then another one. See, and I can already tell this is cut a little bit funky. I didn't get quite lined up, but it'll be okay. These two go in 12. And then we're going to rotate this like this. See, this is a little small. Oh no, that's good. And then we're going to cut another 1/2 inch off here. Like so. And then this one goes in 11. 10, 11. And then this one goes, this one's getting die cut. So this one's getting C10. And then, now where do we want to go? Probably here. Cut off this little section. probably gonna do this 1 3/4 little section here. Which I don't think I can do this way. I think I have to do this way. 1, 2, 3. Then, same thing, because they're squares. 1, 2, 3. And then this one gets a little chunk cut off of it. Or I can really just do it this way, because it says it's 1 1/2, so I can just measure it to 1 1/2 and then cut it off. Okay. And then these two go in 8. 3, 6, 7, 8. I will say so with how I reset up everything, I can actually see the chat a lot better because my computer's like right here, compared to it was over behind me before. So I do kind of like that it's right there and I can actually like see what y'all are saying and I can see what the camera looks like without entirely like turning backwards and sideways. I just have to turn a little bit. This one is 12. See, I almost got all my baggies mixed up, but I saved it and realized what I was doing. Okay. And now we cross off this whole row. Alright, and now we cut this one. We just need a 3/4 strip. 1, 2, 3. That one goes in number 6. I did order, so I've been going through all of my stuff to try and figure out, because usually when I do these, you know, I do try to do them on a theme so that I feel less lost, for lack of a better word, when I'm trying to figure out what to actually do. So, you know, I'll do Christmas ones, I'll do birthday, I'll do fill in the blank, different ones. Usually Christmas or birthday are my biggest one. I did a Valentine's Day one year. And so I've been going through all my stuff trying to get my, like, what do I have that's Thanksgiving-y that I can use for this, to try to just have things ready to go, because it is a lot to put together, 15 cards, and I really wanted some kind of, like, Happy Thanksgiving die, because I thought that was going to come in handy. I have a couple stamps, but, so I did order some stuff, and at first I was like, oh my gosh, no, what was I thinking? I didn't think about this fast enough, and now I don't have, everything I'm not going to have everything for Monday, because I maybe thought about this on Friday, and I was like, I'm not going to have it for the live on Monday, and I was like, wait, well, actually, it doesn't matter, because all we're doing on Monday is cutting paper and doing all the prep, doing like a prep stream for it, so it's kind of, this is very craft room cleanup vibes, but we're getting, that doesn't go in there, that goes in 5, but we're getting ready for the next stream, basically. So then I was like, okay, no, you know what? It'll be fine, because everything should get here by next month, right? Like, I don't do this again until August. You know, that is another option, though. If we don't want to do the other half today, I'd have to double check my calendar. I don't really want to do it next week, though, because I have a really cool video for next week, and I really want to go up next week. So, I'll have to think about that, because I wouldn't be opposed to doing another live stream in July. I just would have to figure out timing. I could do a Wednesday night live if that works for people. That is an option. See, 9 and 5. But I don't know. Do you guys really care to see the other half of this? Which again, I'll tell you what the other half of it is, I guess. So they have this time I found out, I don't know when this started because I haven't been keeping up with the challenges very well, as much as I used to. And she started doing I mentioned at the beginning how you have like the black and white. Okay, Shelly would be here for a Wednesday live. That works for me. I don't know if it'll be I think it would probably be next Wednesday. I'd have to double check my calendar. But I'm kind of leaning towards that actually, doing a second, especially since I haven't been doing lives. Like I skipped 2 months? I skipped May, at least May and June, if not April too. I think I skipped April too. I'd have to go back and look at that too. So I feel like we could do some makeup lives, and I have Wednesdays yet in July. So far, I have my Wednesdays free. I might do that. I might do Wednesday. So I think that's gonna be my plan. I think we're gonna finish these, and then I'm gonna pick a Wednesday to do. Like I said, probably not this week, but maybe the following week or the week after, and we'll do the other part of this. I think that might be what we do, or I'll do another Monday. Like I said, I just have to look and see what my schedule looks like. Because I didn't think about that ahead of time. But I've also been thinking about switching to Wednesdays. But I also don't want to switch to Wednesdays because it would just be the only time I could for sure say that it would be Wednesday would be for the next month. And then it'll depend on what my dance schedule looks like, which means I might lose Mondays too. Because I don't know what that's going to look like yet. I should hopefully find out this week, or like in the next few weeks, I should hopefully find out. I'm kind of hoping maybe to find out this week, but I'm not really like holding my breath for that. So hopefully, but I know we're fine for August. I know we're fine for August 10th. And I know I can do Wednesdays now. So we might do, like I said, probably not this week, but maybe next week Wednesday. That feels like something I'd be able to do off the top of my head right now. It's going to bother me if I don't look it up right now. So let's see. I could probably do next Wednesday. That would probably work. So maybe we're gonna temporarily plan on that we're gonna do the second half or the second part of this on Wednesday, and maybe we'll do the same thing in August. The August live is right before my dance for the fall starts up again. So it'll depend on if we have to make a schedule change anyway, because we have the August live and then a week later I go back to class. So we'll kind of play August by ear and the rest of the Kendra's Card Challenge, but I think I want to do that. I think I want to do another live next Wednesday. I know at one point I was like, I want to do like little pop-up lives, and I haven't really done that. So maybe it's time for a pop-up live. Alright, so we have this one. Oh, see, this one's another one that needs a little die cut, though. I did know that this would take forever. Like, I planned on that. I just wasn't sure for the first time how many lives I would need to do it. So now we know it's probably going to be at least 3 or 4. So those times that I choose to do this, probably have to do it 2 in a month. Okay, now where do I want to go? This one feels complicated. Hold on. Okay, so we did that because that was the first step. I think the next move is to go down here and do this one. And then do, okay, yep, I see it. I see the mastermind here. The only thing that I don't, oh no, I don't have to do math. We're good. Oops, don't do that. One and a half. One and a half. One and a half, and this one needs a die cut again. Alright, 12s. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 3, 4 is over here. 4 is 10. 10 needs a die cut. Alright. Next move is this way. 1, 2, 3. Now we got this big old piece. I did not cross these off, so let's do that quick. Cross, and then I got this big boy here. Let's see if it's right though. I have a feeling he's not. Yeah, he's a little short, but it'll be okay. Alright, he goes into number 11. I always like when we get these big pieces because I know that's going to be like a background piece that I don't have to think about later. Okay, next is more of these complicated little bits here. So we're going to do this. No, we're not. We're going to do this. And then we're going to do this. Cut this little bit off. This is going to be extras. This goes in 3. And then so many tiny pieces. This goes in 11. I'm missing number. Oh, there it is. Look at it. It's out of place. This was supposed to... No, that's right. Never mind. I thought that one was supposed to go in 10, and I put it in 11, but it was right the whole time. See, now these are starting to get all messed up here. 12, 13. There we go. Happens every time. And then we got another die cut circle we gotta do. And then this should be just fine, which it mostly is. And goes in number 5. Okay, 2 more. We're almost done. And guess what? This one starts the exact same way. Oop, I'm a little worried about that one. That one cut kind of funky, so we're going to see how that goes. 15. This keeps switching on me, which is not nice of it. I don't know why it does that. And then this one goes in 3. And then, let's see. Across the bottom again, I think. This is very similar to the last one we just did. Very, very similar. Two. 3. 12. And this one gets the die cut this time. And now, this one actually works out pretty, like, evenly, really, which is kind of nice. So we're going to do 2. I'm just going to check, because again, my brain says that looks a little funky, but it is perfect, so that's good. 13. 'Gotta cut this one and then cut it in half. 1, 2, 3. Not quite in half, actually. I'm glad I read that, because I would have just cut it in half and it would have been incorrect. This piece goes in 8, and we're going to make sure we file these ones correctly since they are in fact not the same size. 8. And 14. Okay. Then 1, 2, 3. This one goes in 15. And then we cut 1/2 inch again. These little tiny pieces always make me a little nervous. This one's going 11. have our one that we're gonna have to die cut. Our second one, because we already did the first one out of this one that we had to die cut. Now we've got the other one. E9 and 5. And then we just have this piece, which just goes right into number 5. Okay, last one. Let me see if I can... You're gonna see my phone for a second here, because I'm gonna see if I can get the face cam back on. Oh, I can, okay. Just while we're getting ready for the wrap up here, see if I can fix this quickly. There we go. Okay. Flip that around and put it back up here, and then we'll do the last one, and then I will say goodbye. Maybe. Oops, I just turned it off. Nope, we're good. Okay. Love that. Glad that worked. Well, actually, I should check and make sure because I'm on the wrong camera. Yep, okay. You know what? We're just not going to do the face cam because it really doesn't want to work. It just turned off again. So, I'll have to look at that. I'll fix it for next time. Okay, and then with this one's done. I just had something I wanted to show you all at the end. That was all. But I can show you on the overhead too. It'll be okay. I had a sneak peek for y'all for next time. Well, not the next live, but for the next video. Same one, same thing. These all started the exact same way, which is kind of fun. That was wrong, though. Let's not do that. Three. Okay. Ooh, this one's another tricky one. Let's see. Probably gonna go with this one next. And then this one's gonna get a big old die cut after. And now I'm gonna cut a 1/2-inch strip, I think. That one's gonna go in number 9. 9. And then this little one is 15. Well, this little one is 15, but it's not. We're cutting it at a 1/4 inch. Let me just double check this quickly. It's a little short again, but that tends to happen. And this one goes on 15. I'm kind of excited to see what this little piece is. Those are usually fun. And then this big one should just go on 14. And then we're done. Well, we're mostly done. I still have all the die cutting to do, but I'll do that off camera. And since we're at about an hour and a half, which honestly, I was aiming for an hour, but I will take an hour and a half. I would say that is, I was also trying to sort of get an idea of how long these actually take me to do. And I did chat for a while at the beginning, so, an hour and a half. That's always about what I thought it'd take me to do these. And obviously I'm not quite done, but if I added in all the die cutting, it'd probably be an hour 45 maybe. But so that is it. We are the first step of the Kendra's card challenge is done. And honestly, I think this is one of the hardest steps, is getting everything ready and cut and all of that. It's the most sort of like mundane, repetitive part of it. And then I just have all the pieces here that I will die cut off camera. All the circle dies. So that is what we're going. And then next time, which like I said, I'm pretty sure will be next Wednesday, but just keep an eye on Instagram, and I will post once I know for sure, which should be by tomorrow. I will post I will schedule everything and have it up on YouTube. But I'm 99.9% sure that it's gonna be next Wednesday. Based on what I just looked at on my calendar. And although I've seen people say that they are glad I showed all the cutting so that they understood how it worked. And like I said earlier, I've done these videos on my channel before, but when I don't do the live and I edit it down and it's sped up 15 times a lot of times to try to get these into like half an hour, to get the whole video into half an hour, you can't really see what I'm doing. So I was hoping that doing the live would slow it down a little bit and help people see how it works, and I'm glad to see that happened. That makes me feel like, even though it took longer than I wanted it to, I accomplished my goal. So yeah, so I'm glad you found it helpful. And I really do want to do this again. I really do want to do this more in the future. I want to do one in January, February again, I think. Because I want to do a birthday one. I need to restock my birthday cards pretty bad. So this is the new part for me though, and this is what we'll do next Wednesday. Is she started offering this for sale. It is $5. I think it was $5. Maybe no, I think it was $10 because I think with tax it ended up being like $10.50 something. So it's around $10. And this is for, so like if you remember on the card sketches here, let me flip my page here. There we go. Remember on this here, we have our colored parts that are the pattern papers, but then we have these gray and white and black pieces. So she made the cutting guide for those now. So I usually just cut those as I went. I would just sort of like do them. Like I would just look at this and be like, oh, okay, I need a mat that's this size. Okay, I need a mat that's this size. And then I would cut them. But she started offering these this time, and I don't know when she started doing this, but this is what we'll do next time, is we will cut all of these. And then we should be ready to go and start making cards next time. Or maybe I'll do this off camera. I might do this off camera, and we might just start cards next time, because I do think we're going to need all that time for cards. So again, watch Instagram, watch the YouTube channel. It'll tell you specifically if we're going to do this or if we're going to start cards, because I feel like we're going to end up with doing this for like the entire 3 months if I don't start the cards next time. Because I want to try to push myself to do some more technique-y stuff with the cards than I normally do. Like usually I just kind of put things together. But, so I don't know. But I really like this. I'll let you know what I think about it next time if we don't do it together. Because it's going to be the same process, and y'all just watched me cut all that paper, and do you really want to watch me cut paper again? I don't think so. So I have a feeling next time I'll probably do this off camera too, and then we'll just make cards next time. I think that will be the plan. But I am very excited about this, and I'm glad this is here because I think it's gonna make the process of making the cars much smoother, compared to me trying to figure it out as I go. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. I wish I could turn my face cam on to like say a proper goodbye, but it is not wanting to cooperate today. I plugged it in today to charge, like while I was at work, and it apparently did not charge. And then I plugged it in thinking it would work while it was charging, and apparently not. So yeah. So it'll be charged for next time though, for Wednesday. And then I wanted to show you, look, come here. A little sneak peek since y'all are here and I still have this card. This is what's coming for next week, Monday. Hopefully, I shouldn't say that. I also don't have anything edited. I need to edit a bunch of videos, but I really want this one to go up on Monday. So hopefully a little sneak peek for y'all if you're here. Alright, so that is everything I had to say. This is hopefully what you'll see on Monday. And yeah, that's everything. I think we're gonna make cards next time. I think I'm gonna cut that paper this week, and then we're just gonna get into the fun stuff next time. So that's it. I don't know why I'm taking so long to say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. I will see you again next time, and have a crafty day.